Hey guys, it's Larry Greenberg, and what you're looking at today is the desktop version of the FLOTE stand. A few weeks ago I showed you the M2 floor stand from FLOTE. This is their desktop version. So it sells for $299.99, which is actually the same price as the floor stand, but it offers a smaller profile, yet has all of the same functionality as the M2 floor stand. So I have it set up on my desk, as you can see. It does require some minimal assembly. Essentially, as I zoom in, you have to attach this pole to the base with a single screw. So if you can operate a screwdriver, you can put it together. The stand, when it's fully assembled, weighs 16 pounds, and that's mostly in the form of this base, which is very heavy and very secure. It does have pads on the bottom so that when you place it onto your desktop surface, it will not damage it. And the way the float stand works is this. It has this counterweight right here. So when it comes time to insert your tablet into this claw mechanism, and I'll show you that in a second, you loosen this clamp right here and then adjust the angle of the stand to wherever you want, and then you tighten the clamp back down. And this counterweight on the end down there is what actually allows this stand to seemingly float in midair. You can then position it at pretty much any angle you want, and it just stays there. It does have an extension right here. You loosen this clasp up all the way, and then you can remove the arm, and it will extend out to a full 27.5 inches. Like this, it's about 22 inches in length, and height-wise, it sits about 16.5 inches from the desktop. So let me throw an iPad in here, then I'll come back and show you more about this. Alright, so here's an iPad inserted into the FLOTE desktop stand. If I spin this thing around, first of all, you know from my previous review that you can put this into portrait, into landscape, into really any position you want. But if I flip it around, there you can see the spring-loaded mechanism on the back. It's like a claw that you open and close, and that's what allows the claw to kind of hold itself onto the iPad. I'm just going to tighten everything back up. You have to make sure that everything is tight or it won't stand up. You can see my reflection in the iPad. Or it won't stay in the proper position. Once everything's tight, then you can kind of remove or move this ball joint around to any position you want. There I am in, portrait. I can go to horizontal if I want, landscape mode very easily, and I can move this thing up and down with ease. If I want to adjust the height again, I'm sorry if you zoom in so close, I would loosen the clamp, move this up to where I want, and I'm doing this with one hand, and then tighten it back down, and now you can see it's resting at a higher position. Sorry about that extreme close-up angle. So, like I said, this allows you to put your iPad into virtually any position you should so desire, which is really remarkable. And the key is it just stays there. Now, I did, like I said, review the floor stand, and I was blown away by it. But I have to say, I kind of like the desktop version a little bit better. The sleeker profile just fits in my personal space better. It's not taking up room on the floor. I wouldn't say as functional in that, there's a couple places where maybe I can't use the desktop version where I could use the floor, but as long as you've got counter or desktop space or nightstand space, you can use the desktop version the same way as you would use the floor stand. So after reviewing both these stands, guys, honestly, I'm ready to say that this is the flat out best iPad stand of this type I've ever had a chance to review. It's simply awesome. You heard me say it in my original review. I want one of these in every room in my house. It's that good and that functional. It's just that they're so expensive. I could never afford to do that. But if you can, certainly jump on at least one of these, and you're sure to enjoy what I think is the best iPad stand around. So that's been my brief review of the FLOTE desktop stand. You can check it out via the link I'll have in the video description. I'll also have a link there to my full review of this over on runaroundtech.com. That review has more pictures and more detail, etc. As always, if you have any questions about anything you saw here today, certainly feel free to drop me a line down below. Otherwise, have a great day.